Peace and blessings. Greetings, y'all. Kam-Pain show live. Good Friday. Good Friday. The Friday before Resurrection Sunday. Good Friday. Hoping y'all Friday is actually good. This is not about religion. It's just Friday. Just happened to be Good Friday, so that's just the title. I don't really got no topic. I did run across something right before I got on regarding this interview, this Tucker Carlson dude interviewed with this other guy that's talking about Gaddafi. And if y'all know how many posts and episodes and how much then I had to say about Gaddafi within the last year and his value and what he tried to do for black people of America, the descendants of slaves, and why they did what they did to him. When I say they, I mean your United States government that you believe in, that you voted for, Obama. Yes, we can. Keep hope alive. My president is black. Him. Your choice, your pick. What he did to Gaddafi, right? With the help of Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden. Peace, though. Hit the little like button, man, if y'all don't mind on your way in. Good Friday. Hoping y'all Friday is good. Hoping y'all good. Because Fridays and every day of the week is the Lord's days. But these are supposed to be some special days for Christians. So salute. Resurrection Sunday coming up. Last Sunday was Palm Sunday. This Sunday is Resurrection Sunday, formerly known by black people as Easter. I guess we waking up. I was in Costco's earlier, and instead of saying Happy Easter, it's like Happy Resurrection. Black sister, older sister. Happy Resurrection Day. Oh, okay. All right. I like that. Resurrection Day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely what time it is. That's what day it is. Ain't no 24-hour day. It's the days. It's the season. 'Tis the generation for the mentally dead to resurrect from mental death into restoring our God power and God identity. So it definitely is Resurrection Day. Resurrection days, the days of Allah, the great and dreadful days. Salute, Blacktastic 68. Walaikum salam, big family. Subscribe, share, like, comment respectfully, and hit the notification bell. Blacktastic 68. Excellent advice and excellent guidance for tonight and for every night. Squab Cook, salute, big squab. Salute to you. So yeah, check this out, man. We done hit the 2-minute mark. This is fair use. Let me know what y'all think about this. Was y'all aware of this? A lot of times we don't believe nothing until we hear the other man say it. So here go two of them other men saying it.
Libya, we were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi.
He said he didn't want the CIA, his own CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, to set him up. Man, let me back that up. Let me bring that beat back.
Libya, we were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war.
Hillary Clinton played a game. I'm going to let it play, but Hillary Clinton is absolutely not no mastermind. Is not the brains behind no operation. Hillary Clinton was just in place representing that DEI, women, feminism stuff. So she definitely was doing the bidding of her small cap puppeteers. So let's listen to it one more time, and I ain't gonna interrupt.
Libya, we were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the US and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong.
Yeah, but that, I think...
Uh-oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
I mean, but we've allowed so many of our kids to be drawn into conflicts, to be killed. And these people doing this they've never served in any capacity in our country. They've never been in the military. They've never served on a fire ground. And it's outrageous that they think they can get away with this and sit back and make all this money.
Okay, so yeah, that's that. We're gonna play it back, of course, not this second, but I want to just play it all the way through so y'all can get a vibe on what it looks like when Satan starts to cast out Satan. How then shall his kingdom stand? When you see, top pink people rolling over and ratting and snitching and publicly going against the other pink powerful people, then you know that the Lord is here. The real Lord is here and is playing them the way that they was allowed to play us for the last 470 years. Now the master is here, putting them at each other's throat and pitting them against each other like they have enjoyed and lived so deliciously for the last 4.5 centuries and that 5 centuries by doing us and the indigenous people the same way. So let's listen to that again, shall we? Uh-oh. Okay, can't listen to it if it's on mute.
Libya. We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
I hand carried the letter back to the U.S. government from Gaddafi, when he was offering to resign from being the head of state because they were so threatened by him or whatever. But they was setting him up the whole time. Remember, once Obama got into office, he was shaking his hand and acting like they was welcoming him back into the international community with open arms, just under the conditions that he had to disarm himself or whatever. I think whatever his weapons of mass destruction arsenal or program, they required him to disarm, and he agreed to do that. And he thought that he was being welcomed in, while they sent the black Kenyan, this black African brother from Kenya or whatever, that's now the president of United States, to embrace him and say that he's welcome back into the fold. He's no longer on the terrorist watch list. All the while they were setting him up to murk him. So they wasn't interested in him cooperating with them. No, they wanted him out the way totally. And this is why.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the US and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong.
Yeah, but that, I think, sounds right to me.
I mean, but we've allowed so many of our kids to be drawn into conflicts, to be killed. And these people doing this they've never served in any capacity in our country. They've never been in the military. They've never served on a fire ground. And it's outrageous that they think they can get away with this and sit back and make all this money.
Sit back and make all this money? Well, is it really about money? You can act like it's about money, but it's really not about money. It's about keeping the black descendants of slaves, the real chosen people of God, keeping them asleep and keeping them bound up so that ultimately they can take us down and out with them. That's what it's all about. It ain't about money. It ain't about so-called power and control. It's just about being able to deceive and manipulate us long enough to where they can take us out with them. They know they ain't got no future, but they just want to, play Operation Spoil Sport or mutual assured destruction. If we gotta go, then y'all gotta go. If y'all God is destroying us, then I'm gonna take as many of his people with me. This is these, slave master people talking. If your God is now destroying me because my time to rule is up and is, stopping our birth rate and making our women barren, making all the stuff that we used to be blessed now is cursed. And he breaking all of the spells and all of the curses. So they know they can't win against the God. They know they can't win against the UFOs, the aliens. So their job is just to keep the ninjas distracted and deceived and sleep long enough to where we have to go out with them because we still so attached to them. We so party and we so striving, to chasing the bag, which is them. Whenever black people say, yeah, chase the bag, I don't chase nothing but the bag, that you're saying them. You're saying the former slave masters race. That's what the bag mean, whether y'all like it or not. If that's what y'all say, y'all whole goal and mission is, and happiness and security and peace of mind is chasing the bag. The bag means the Adamic race. The bag means your former slave master's descendants. That's really what it means. So it wasn't about the bag. I mean, America didn't get rid of Gaddafi just about a bag. It's about the wealth that he had that he was offering to the descendants of slaves and to all of Africa, whom they already ravaged and pillaged, you know what I'm saying, and destroyed. They know the prophecy. They know they're not going to live. They know they're doomed. They know that. So their goal is just to take as many of us down and out with them as possible. Don't ever be deceived. They're going to tell you it's about money. It's about control. It's about power. Yeah, it's about controlling us long enough to where, there's no time left once we see that all of this was really in our favor. There's no time left because it's destruction time and we got to get took out along with them because we didn't choose our own nation. We didn't choose our own kind. We didn't choose Farrakhan and the NOI. You know what I'm saying? We held on to them. They was our God. Our faith was in America and the US dollar. That became our God. Ayo, salute, big Ayo, Wrench Mob, God Mob, salute. God willing, I'll be back on regular next week, man. Yeah, we've been missing you, man. Thank you also, big Ayo, for the super chat. Yeah, man. Cold peace. Blacktastic, cold peace. Wally 100, salute. Again, thank you, big Ayo. Yeah, just let us know whatever you want to talk about. We're gonna talk about. God Mod and Mod Jabril. Gaddafi planned to create an African telephone provider. Was about to bring $500 million loss to the current Euro provider. Salute Gaddafi. May Allah be pleased with him. But yeah, Gaddafi got deceived too. Farrakhan warned Gaddafi. Said they'll never forgive you. Don't trust them. But, he said he put his hand on Gaddafi, on the minister, like kind of patted him like, I got this. No, don't worry, I got this. Like, I know how to do this in words or in. So, as soon as he thought he was all good, he thought he understood how to move without the guidance of Elijah Muhammad. And that was the end of him. But may Allah be pleased with Gaddafi. And that's just a sign. Gaddafi is just a sign. If y'all know anything about the Bible story about the baby Jesus and Mary was about to give birth, it was like a baby shower. You know what I'm saying? It was so-called wise men. It wasn't three wise men. I don't know why they say that story. It wasn't three wise men. It was just wise men, however many it was. It was wise men that came from the East that recognized, that knew that the Christ was about to be born. And in this case, we're talking about a Christ nation. They knew that this holy mother, Mariam or Mary, it was time, it was due. The prophecy said it was due, and they saw the signs in the heaven called the North Star that he was about to be born. So they wanted to go on record showing the baby Christ that they favored him, that they was like competing with each other to present the most valuable gifts and what the new baby nation needed. And it said myrrh and frankincense and gold. What kind of baby needs gold? So that was not talking about a little baby, one individual baby 2,050 some years ago. That's symbolic for a baby nation. And the woman means the messenger of Allah. So overall, it means it started out being Honorable Elijah Muhammad giving birth to Farrakhan, and then it turned into Farrakhan ultimately giving birth to Elijah's whole nation. Farrakhan became the wife of, the mother of this nation. Elijah is the father of this nation. So the wise men like Gaddafi, he's not the only one of the wise men, but look at the gold he tried to offer. Not just $1 billion. Not just what that say. It wasn't just $1 billion. That was the initial offer. That was the initial to get y'all started. And that's why Hillary and Obama and Biden got rid of him. The ones y'all voted for. Y'all voted for all three of them, right? Voted for Hillary, voted for Biden, and voted for Obama. Didn't vote for Farrakhan or Libya, the one that was trying to get $1 billion out, $1 billion advance to black people. And then Gaddafi promised to back the black people of America, descendants of slaves, with the full wealth of Libya, trillions of dollars, trillions. So that's just one sign of the wise men that knew who the baby Jesus, the baby Christ nation that was destined to rule, to come to power and rule the earth forever and ever, which is us, the descendants of slaves, the black and the indigenous, meaning the so-called Native American Indian of North America. That's the baby Jesus. That's the baby Christ. That's the one that the wise people from the East, our brothers in the East, meaning Africa and the Middle East, even in Asia, they recognize us and, are trying to make their way to us to deliver certain gifts. That was just one demonstration. That's nothing. It's not saying that Gaddafi was nothing. I'm talking about the wealth that is coming our way and the power, because material wealth don't mean nothing. The real wealth is the unlocking of our God powers. You know what I'm saying? To be able to build and destroy. So, and then the material wealth is just icing on the cake. So Farrakhan denied $1 billion from Libya, $1 billion advance, $1 billion investment. And this was 1996. The federal government denied Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan permission Wednesday to accept a promised $1 billion gift from Libya to do what? To help African Americans economically and politically. And your favorite presidents, y'all voted for Hillary, Obama, and Biden instead of Farrakhan. And then you obeyed Fauci instead of Farrakhan. And then goofies claiming Farrakhan is evil. 70 years worth of unmatched righteous work. And ninjas still saying that he's evil. He's a con man, Farrakhan man, or Farrakhan, or like, all right, that's blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. So we'll see. We about to see shortly. I mean, actually very shortly, in very few days. And I just thank God that I'm an instrument, you know what I'm saying, that being able to call this and let y'all know this before it happens. And we know what it's going to look like. It's not going to happen. We know it's a brief season that is going to look like we taking a big L, looking like the Messiah gonna be dead and gone, like the Quran and the Bible say. But they killed him not for certain, nor did they cause his death on the cross, but he was made to appear to them as such. But no, Allah raised him to himself, exalted him, and turned over all power to him. So we'll see. It's just Bible story, man. It's that Bible stuff. Yeah, it's just that Bible stuff. Yeah, ain't no such thing as no wise men that recognize this baby nation, this baby Christ nation, God's nation over here, and trying to make their way over here with this baby, with their baby shower gifts, the registry, this divine registry. They want to go on record letting the baby Christ know that I helped you, I recognize you, and I helped you before, before God turned over this destructive power to y'all, because we know y'all gonna conquer. God about to give y'all the power to destroy all these enemies anyway. So we want to go on record as wise men, your brothers from the East, long lost brother. We want to help you. We want to let you know that no, we was on record not being on the sideline. We wasn't on the sideline. We wasn't neutral. We wasn't walking by on the other side of the street. We got active. As soon as we recognized it was time for y'all to be born, we on record. Check our registry. Check our birth, what do you call that? Baby shower registry. No, that's us. We put that up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, salute. If y'all only knew what time it is, man. If y'all only knew how close we are. If y'all only knew. That's why the devil is throwing all of this so-called luring y'all with money that you never had and fame that you never had and women power, empowerment, opportunities that you never had. They throwing all of the stuff that they know you desired. They finally throwing it at you. Why? What do they know is about to be unlocked? What do they know is coming for you? You know what I'm saying? It's about to be given to you, about to be unlocked in you. That they want to just make you the priority. They want to make you the number one priority. Everything is for the black woman, the black woman, or black people, or, you know what I'm saying? Oh, for real? Since when was we all a kumbaya, all in the same game? Small caps acting like they are brothers in the struggle against white supremacy. The small caps is talking about they are brothers in the struggle against white supremacy. So they acting like what they went through under their own brother Hitler, makes them brothers with us. You know what I'm saying? And we both is supposed to be together. And us and the small caps is together against Trump or the so-called white supremacists, the KKK or the Nazi, American Nazis or whatever. No, you're not our brother. You with them. It was little stars of David on the doorways of the slave dungeons and all of that. Yeah, we know who the architects of the transatlantic slave trade was. The architects, the masterminds. No, you're not we're not brothers in our struggle. So yeah, I just since it's Good Friday, I don't know what's good about it. You look that up for those that's Christians. If this is the day he got crucified, just think about that. What's good about your Lord being tortured to death? What's good about it? If you that mature to say the day was a good day, like Ice Cube, then okay, well, you should be mature enough to handle all these other concepts and all these other questions, the mature questions that I be trying to ask y'all. Yeah, if you claim to be Christian, don't claim this is Good Friday. What's good about it? That sounds like a phrase that Satan would say. Satan would say this is Good Friday. This is good. This is the day we got rid of Jesus' ass. You know what I'm saying? What's good about it? Good Friday. Why would you ever say that? And why would you wear a torture symbol, an iced out torture symbol of your Lord being tortured? What? Like you don't got him on a horse or whatever, you know what I'm saying, with a sword, with angels. Like you don't got a symbol of him of his power. You got a symbol of his destruction, his his demise. How is that cool? Why would you want to ice that out? I want to ice his torture, the reenactment of his torture. I want to have an iced out memory of that. Like, y'all crazy. Cross. The cross is the symbol. Nah, the cross ain't his symbol. Cross is y'all's symbol. Double cross. That's Constantine's symbol. Did y'all know that? That's Constantine. Do y'all know who Constantine is? My black Christians that wear the cross? Constantine. No, I don't know. Yeah, I know you don't. But it's Good Friday, though. Why is good? Because we get to eat our ham. We get to prepare to hide these little Easter eggs, these little bunny eggs. I didn't know Easter eggs came from bunnies. The little pagan. What's my little holiday madness? Man. What I say? Passover. Must have thought it was Passover because he never brought his ass over my house. But today I get new clothes anyway, plus a little money. Thank you, Easter Bunny, for the basket of jelly beans. Even though I don't know what the hell he means, never read about him in the Bible. Horny little pagan idol. No wonder my mind is so twisted. But thank God my church wasn't broke-wristed, even though I never went. I know I still can repent. Something I forgot how the rest of it go. Niggas so dense we seem to only come together over nonsense. Holiday madness. Easter Bunny. Bonk, bonk. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Bonk, bonk. Good Friday. What the hell is good about the day your Lord got terrorized and got tortured to death? Like, we sick. But, Brother Cam, you know what I'm saying? Uncomfortable. Elephant in the room, taboo subjects. That's what I be on. But yeah, man, it's am I telling a lie? Am I offending you? Am I upsetting y'all? Not saying that I don't believe in Christ. I know Christ. I know Christ. I know the Messiah. It's just a difference of interpretation. We can actually identify him. What good is claiming Jesus and Christ and God and whoever, but you can't identify him? You're just talking about somebody that you believe lived 2,000 years ago or 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. What good is that? And then other ninjas acting like God is, God is not a man, or God is a man, but he ain't never been on the earth. He don't do miracles no more until the kingdom comes, till kingdom come. I don't know, man. Goofballs. Just goofballs. So, yeah, let me play this one more time, though, just so y'all know what I'm on.
We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. And every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong.
Yeah, but that, I think, sounds right to me.
I mean, but we've allowed so many of our kids to be drawn into conflicts, to be killed. And these people doing this they've never served in any capacity in our country. They've never been in the military. They've never served on a fire ground. And it's outrageous that they think they can get away with this and sit back and make all this money. Libya.
It's not about money. And do y'all think that they lying just because it's Tucker Carlson? Just because y'all don't like Tucker Carlson, because you think Tucker Carlson is a super white whatever he is, conservative or whatever he is. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about black people, but is he lying? Is he lying? So super white Republican type conservative type dude like Tucker Carlson is publicly going against the small caps, publicly going against the people that's behind getting rid of Gaddafi, exposing that and all of the other stuff that he's been exposing, like Fauci and the CDC and the big pharma and all whatever else he got going on. So do we still not listen to him because he's white, because of what his past history was? If that's the case, why did you vote for Biden? If that's the case, why did you vote for Biden, and why did you take the Fauci juice? If we ain't supposed to listen to this dude, or no white person that now is saying stuff that confirms what Farrakhan been saying for 70 years. You know what I'm saying? Why should we not listen to him? Because he's confirming what Farrakhan and the NOI been saying for 70 years or 95 years or whatever. But since you don't like him because, you know, he got a history of saying some stuff against black people that you don't like, do he got a worse history than Biden? Was he a lawmaker that crafted the crime bill and called us super predators and crafted the 3 strikes law? You know, crack cocaine versus powder, and then let his son Hunter Biden off. You know what I'm saying? He locked all of us up, ruined a couple of generations of us. But then y'all voted for him. Y'all voted for him, not him, but y'all voted for Biden. Y'all obeyed Fauci. But then I shouldn't be able to play him. I shouldn't be able to play Candace Owens. I shouldn't be able to play Kanye. Because what? Because they sold out? What did you do? If you voted for Biden or you took the Fauci juice, we sold out. We the ones sold out on this Good Friday. That's what I want to know. So, you know, my topics be so offensive, I guess, or so they sting so much that I can't really talk about nothing because, you know, I'm a third rail. You know, my thing gonna be in the third real hot thing that nobody really wants to go public and debate. You're gonna privately or off to the side talk crap or talk crazy or, you know, dispute or disagree with me, but you're not gonna do it on a live with me. You know what I'm saying? And it say that in the Bible and the Quran and all that, they will shut their mouths at them. Yeah, it's Debo. You know, we Debo and y'all Smokey. You know what I'm saying? We had to hear all that loud woofing, barking and all that when you thought you was up and y'all had the numbers and y'all thought Jesus was with y'all and Jesus provided a way out of the pandemic in the form of the Fauci juice. And y'all was saying Farrakhan should be ashamed of himself. He's using his influence in the most irresponsible way, telling people not that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can't repeat it here. Now what? Now where's your loved ones at? What is your health like if you took it? You know, let me know. Holler at me live on this Good Live Friday. Am I saying something wrong? So if you still got action, you still breathing, why not fly at, you know, better late than never? Why not fly to Farrakhan? Why not fly to your nation? There might be some treatments and some protocols to get certain stuff out your system. It ain't no might to it. But are you too proud? You don't want to say I was wrong. I'd rather die than admit that I was wrong. My pride is gonna go before my destruction. Well, it's gonna do that. It's already doing that. You know, you're gonna look worse going out the stupid way. You're not gonna escape looking stupid. Let me just say that. You're not gonna escape looking stupid. So a lot of us just don't want to, I just rather not even be alive no more. So I won't have to see myself looking stupid. I won't, I won't have to witness other people seeing me be humiliated. Well, you don't know. You don't know what happens after you physically die. You might think you escape public humiliation. I think it's more people. I mean, I ain't want to get on Spookville, but it's more people dead than it is alive on the earth. So if you think you're going to escape some kind of the masses humiliation, and you believe it's a such thing as an afterlife, it's infinitely more people dead, you know what I'm saying, than from this planet than there is alive. So if you're running from 8 billion people or whatever, a few million people, you scared of that public humiliation of a few million people. Well, what if, when you shed this skin suit, is quadrillions of souls that's going to witness your humiliation that you can't hide from? That's just a thought. It's just something to think about. Good Friday. What's really good about it? What's good? What's good? Big Jock, salute. Jeffrey said, I heard the pagans used to hide and find each other to do such and such things to each other. That's why they hide eggs. Okay, Reno lifting the veil. Salute K Reno. Legendary spitter, rapper from H-Town. FOI. Yeah, but that's it, man. I'm trying to figure it out. BL Senior, salute. Damn the ham. I'm taking the eggs and make a couple of cans of albacore tuna. Right. Did I say that? Oh no. That's y'all don't hear me though. Damn, Cam, I got a migraine. What you eat? Just some pork chops and pig feet and a couple of strips of bacon. And my head just started aching. Y'all don't hear me though. Black folk better leave that poke at the stove. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. So let them eggs talk. I mean, not them eggs, them worms. Let them trichinae worms talk. Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all can hear from Dr. Tom Slick. That's why you get sick so quick. Spin a straight grip with Dr. Tom Slick so we can fill your prescription for your headache, asthma, and your hypertension. When all you got to do is stop eating the swine and everything will be fine. Black folk need to leave that poke at the stove. Y'all don't hear me though. Big Daryl Jackson, salute. Yeah, peace. There ain't nobody on the earth, as far as I know. I don't have the wisdom or knowledge. As far as I know, nobody had the choice of what race they come into the world being. As far as I know, you don't get to choose your parents. You can hear all kind of fantastic new age, so-called metaphysical stories and all that. Yeah, I chose my parents this time around and all. Shut up. All we know right now is that you are this race, and based on the reality of what is, this is what's available to you. This is what's offered. The God ain't unjust or unfair to none of us. If he know that he made you more deficient physically, then he allows you, more opportunity or more whatever to make up for it in other areas. But no matter what, we living in trial and tribulation. This is a purification of manifestation of our defects and faults and our toxins and our demons. And this is purpose of this life is to purge ourselves, to become pure, to become holy. That's what pure means. Somebody told me pure means separate. I mean, holy means separate. It's another man, they just be making up their own definitions. Holy means pure, unmixed, untampered with, undiluted, right? So we here to purify, to purify ourselves out of the underdeveloped aspects of ourselves. underdeveloped. Not saying that they not worth nothing. The devil has value. The devil has priceless value. That's why the devil exists. Anything that you think, is worthless. The Quran say it may be that you love a thing while it's evil for you. And it may be that you hate a thing while it's good for you, or regarding people. If you hate them, it might be that Allah placed abundant good in them. Just because we hate them don't mean it ain't abundant, priceless wealth of knowledge or experience that we can gain from them being on the planet. So we learned a priceless jewel, priceless information, priceless experience by the devil ruling us and destroying all they could for the last 6,000 years. That proved priceless information. It proved that we couldn't be destroyed as a people. It proved that we can make a devil weak and wicked and give it power to rule us for 6,000 years and then wake up and destroy it in one day without falling total victim to their civilization, to show and prove that the original man and woman is God, always has and always will be. We wouldn't have knew that for sure if we didn't produce this. We didn't bring this out of us. We made the devils. God, we. Let us make devil in our image and after our likeness. That's what it means. The Bible is talking about the devil. Adam is the devil race. What? Yes, the devil race. Let us, original righteous God nation that was already here for trillions of years, let us make a new man in our image. They have a human image, but like Kendrick said, they not like us. They're mankind. We making them in our image. They're not us. It's a clear distinction that they are not us. They're just in our image, and they're like us in the form of having a human expression. But we got to give them dominion. If they was us or like us, really, if they was us, they would already have dominion like we had. But we doing a new thing. We making a new people in our image. They're called the man of sin. Adam is the man of sin. As by one man, sin entered the world. They're talking about Adam. The first murder was with who? Cain and Abel, right? Them Adam and Eve's children, right? You don't even hear the show up. The snake don't even show up. The snake ain't even got an audience until Adam and Eve show up. Why the snake wasn't trying to get at the sons of God like that? So let us make devil in our image and after our likeness and give devil dominion to rule the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creepeth crawleth thing on the earth. And let them do their work for 6 days. That's the God of this world. We made a new God over on this planet. And on the 7th day or the 7,000th year, they won't be laid to rest from all their work, all their wicked works. That's the real interpretation. That's the real interpretation. Anybody care to dispute it with me on this Good Friday? Let's see how good it is. You believe this is Good Friday? You believe that Jesus of 2,000 years ago or 2,025 years ago is your Christ? Get it in with Brother Cam on this Good Friday. Let's see what's really good. Here's the StreamYard link. I don't really expect nobody to show up, but I sure wish y'all would, invite, like, subscribe, and invite your pastors, invite some imams, invite any religious folks, because ultimately it's going to come, because it's supposed to be God business. It's supposed to be God power, miraculous power. So I ain't trying to debate really nothing, but I'll have conversations with them if they want. But ultimately I'm going to cut right to the showdown challenge. Like, do you believe God does miracles today? Yeah. Do you believe that God did the Elijah and the false prophet challenge. You know, did God do a miracle back then and sent down lightning in real time or whatever? You believe that? Yeah, I believe that. Why won't he do it today? Will he do it today? If he did it thousands of years ago? Like he won't do it today or not? Like why are you pressing me in real time, passing this collection plate, telling me what I'm supposed to do right now in real time? But I ask you, will God do them same kind of miracles today in real time? Like you said, you preaching that he did thousands of years ago, while you saying lock the doors, Marvin Sapp, I need 40 G's, I need 40 bands. Your God don't do no miracles right now? Then your God ain't God then. Why am I listening to anything you got to say? That's just talk. That's pimp talk. That's a pimp named Slickback talk. That's a pastor named Slipback. That's a rabbi named Slickback. That's an imam named Slickback. That's a Kemet or whatever they call it, Kemetic scientist, priest, whatever, named Slickback. Don't talk to me about no God power and you ain't down to prove it right now. Yeah. That's pimp talk. I ain't trying to hear none of that. All I want to hear is yes, I'll do it. And I'm going to call on my God, whatever you call your God. You ain't doing that, then why would I debate? Why would I talk back and forth with you as to who memorize, who can make up some interpretation of some scriptures better than somebody else? You ain't doing nothing with it. If it was really what you said it was, then you would have built better than the nation built. But they ain't built nothing. Ain't produced no revelation. Ain't said nothing new other than some fantastic foolishness, imagination foolishness. Ain't did nothing with it. Make away gangster. Salute, salute. Wearing cross like a noose. Exactly. I mean, that's what it is. You wearing the emblem of torture, your Lord. You're not wearing him on a horse victorious with a crown and with a sword, like, you know, in his power. You got an iced out torture episode, torture scene, an iced out crime scene. Like, nigga, what? That's sick. That's sick. And you think that like that's supposed to be a blessing? That seemed like that's the blessing y'all believe in. That seemed like that's the kind of God power that y'all believe in. I believe in the enemy torturing me like that. You know what I'm saying? Forgive your enemies. Pray for those who curse you or whatever they be saying. Like, no, turn the other cheek. Yeah, that's what you got, an iced out torture scene on your neck. African King Hannibal once said, either find a way or make a way. Hey, Daryl, he needs 40 bands, but's wearing a Rolex. He makes me want to go back to having a banging mentality. I mean, that's what the Bible say. The judgment starts first at the house. So the judgment means the destruction. It means what Elijah did to them 450 or more Baal prophets down by the riverbank. That's what's going to happen to all these characters. That's a promise. That's a promise. I'm not saying who's going to do it. The Bible says who's going to do it. The Bible said God going to let the devil do it. He didn't even say necessarily that the righteous is going to do it. He said that he going to let the devil do it. He said just measure the inner court, but don't measure the outer court. All of them out there going to get pressed like grapes. They're going to get crushed and pressed like grapes. And that grape juice going to be up to the horse's bridle. So the righteous ain't even got to get their hands dirty. The righteous is saving their fades for the real enemy. You know, they swords is just reserved for the powers, the satanic powers, not the stupid ninja minions that stayed on flea and tick mode. Yeah, we don't get our hands dirty with that. Peace and blessing on this Good Friday, Madon Komet, my brother on these YouTube streets, correspondent. What say you, man, on this Good Friday?
Oh man, what's happening, Cam, on this Good Friday, man? How you been, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed and highly favored on Good Friday. Blessed by
So
the
you're right.
true and living God.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. It's Good Friday. I seen a lot of people getting them chicken eggs today, and we know rabbits don't lay eggs. So I saw the psychology in that, and sound like slavery. A white bunny looking for some colored people, but hey,
Man, you know what I'm saying? It's fertility. It's star tail, something like that. The
yeah,
fertility,
started, yeah.
fertility goddess, or the Greek Diddy freak off. You know what I'm saying? The little freak off pagan rituals. Spear 9 say we live in this hell realm and all we do is learn and reach new knowledge just to die like fools at the end. Nah, I don't know about that. I think I get what you're saying, but it's not the hell realm. This is the heaven realm or the hell realm. This is the realm of whatever we make it. It just is just the season or the end of the season for wicked people. It ain't no spooks and spirits that made hell. It's people. It's racist, wicked, weak people with weak moral character and weak spiritual, character that made this a hell, that poisoned everything. Spooks didn't poison the water. Spooks ain't dropping chemtrails. Spook didn't put the pandemic virus together. Spooks didn't put the Fauci juice together. Spooks didn't write the crime bill. Spooks didn't enslave us or conquistadors. Like, that wasn't spooks. This wasn't no realm of spooks.
Right.
These is human beings, and we just don't want to identify them. We don't want to go to war with them, so we call it a realm. Now, this ain't nothing wrong with this realm. This is heaven. This is the heavenly realm. We just gave power and dominion to a certain people that was wicked.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Jim, peace, Jim, say, build on the telepathy European scientists is trying, but it's frying their brain, just for trying to talk to God. Is it CIA or government experiment? No, it's the power. Elijah Muhammad said it's the power that all human beings have, because all human beings are God. Like the Bible said, it's Good Friday. It says, ye are all gods, even if you white. White people are grade levels of God. They're the God of this world system. They're not the God of creation. They didn't create nothing, but they have become the masters of what the original people created, a certain level of mastery, not no full mastery, but they've been tapping into their own powers. Even with their 6 ounces of grafted brain, they still able to remote view. They still able to, to understand certain physics and certain mathematical and engineering, physics calculations or whatever, and make things happen. So with their own power, like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday when I mentioned it, Ingo Swann. Ingo Swann was a homosexual. He was a white male. I think he was born in 1933, and I think he passed away 10 years ago or maybe more. But he was the number 1 psychic spy for the United States government, for the CIA. The CIA established a whole, whatever they call that, program around him. It started with Ingo Swann, then Joe McMoneagle, then Hal Puthoff, then I forgot the others. It's a whole list of them. Y'all can pull it up. So it's not about they have the ability. It's about what their intentions are. They're only successful, with righteous powers and God powers. They only work fully if the intent is righteous. If you using your power for wickedness, then it's gonna be limited. It still work. It's gonna work more than niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like if they feeding you pork and lean and weed and McDonald's and all of that. And then they know, like, especially as small caps, they got to follow a certain dietary law called halal or kosher. They only eat kosher, but they don't eat kosher because they obeying God. They trying to please God. They obeying, they eating kosher because they know the damage that poison food that they give us is doing to their pineal gland, to our pineal gland. They don't want that to happen to them. They want to be smarter or wiser or more awake or sharper than God's people. So they feed us poison to sound and kill off our brain power. And then they 6 ounces of brain is more effective than our 7.5 ounces of contaminated brain. So they can understand stuff more than we can at that point. So they can experiment. They're not scared. They're not working with cowardice and trauma like that. They get their whole leg bit off trying to swim with sharks. And then a month later, they back out there again just with one leg. Like they daredevils. They not cowards like that. We get all the way in our feelings and we traumatized. I'll never do that again. I never F with that female again. I'm never getting, we just going to go to an emotional extreme because we don't got no, our brain is asleep. We just functioning on pure animal reaction instinct, emotion, no knowledge whatsoever. So the telepathy thing is something that's the power of the human being, but we are the masters of that. Even with pork, even eating the wrong food, we always is seeing in the future. We always hearing voices, or we always having lucid dreams and having certain experiences, but we ain't never been taught what it is. So many of our females, our sisters too, they so spiritually sensitive, they really see. But then they get spooked out with this Christianity. It's a demon, it's a witch on my chest, or it's aliens, and it ain't none of that. It's poison information mixed with your ability to really see and hear other people's thoughts or other locations that you ain't never physically been before, and we don't know what to do with it. It's just like being on a highway, you going out of town, you leaving out your city, and you got your radio station that you familiar with, but then you get so far away, and you hear like you hearing 50 and 60 different radio stations at once. Anybody gonna be like, I'm gonna just turn that shit off. Just turn it off until we get to a solid city. You know what I'm saying? Because we picking up everything and none of it making sense. So that's what we get drunk for. I mean, I need a drink, or I don't even want to hear this noise. Like we naturally hear voices and thoughts naturally. We just don't know that's what we listening to.
That's real.
So I just be trying to help y'all see that y'all not crazy. We not crazy. We just never been taught the handbook manual for our God powers. Stuff right in under your nose. You close your eyes, like I say, you close your eyes and you see all the little speckles in the dark red stuff moving. You don't know what that is. All of that is priceless. All of that is directly related to your God powers, and you have no clue what it is. Just imagine how much more, once the rest of your 92% of, the 92% of your brain that you ain't using, just imagine what you're going to be able to do when you turn that back on. It ain't been turned back on in 6,000 years.
Oh, wow.
6,000 years we've been asleep. And now it's time to wake back up. And that's why so many of us is going crazy, because we think we going insane or whatever, because you waking up to certain powers or certain impressions and, certain things that you're seeing and hearing with your inner ear or your inner eye. And you think you're going crazy. No, I need a drink, girl. I'll be hearing this, or I'll be having dreams and it happened and I'm scared. Like you freaking yourself out, and you let somebody call that gift black magic, witch, something was evil. Somebody mind effing you in the name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not evil. You're not cursed. You don't really even know what it is you seen. I seen a ghost. Nah, you didn't see a ghost. That's not the name of it. That's not a ghost. You know, you might have perceived a certain impression, or you might have been able to perceive somebody's intent. And they say, well, it's disembodied spirits, and those spirits just mean emotion. If you mean certain minds, you don't see minds with your physical eye, but you have a non-physical eye that you can see that type of stuff with. And if you don't know what you're looking at, or you know how to explain it, and you never had a divine teacher to teach you from kindergarten all the way to university level about what that really is, then you're gonna use your imagination and you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, man, that's real. I used to date a girl, you know, she swore on everything on heaven and on earth that ghost was real. And you know, I mean, it used to cause so much conflict within our relationship. No, because I used to be like, I mean, how goes wearing Timberlands? I mean, how did he get a suit on? I mean, because a lot of things just didn't make sense to me. So, but yeah, man, I used to date a girl who was heavy into that, and it actually was, I think, was kind of split us up because I just couldn't accept it, ghosts and stuff, you know.
Right, and you just probably didn't know that you was the one responsible for teaching or exercising it, because you know, we think that the person that we went is supposed to be reasonable, but you can't reason with pork worms. You can't reason with parasites. If our people is mind is being controlled by parasites, you can't reason with that. You know what I'm saying? You can't reason with a hot 38 slug. You know what I'm saying? It's certain conditions, certain things, certain wounds that we carrying that you can't reason with them. You got to just do something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to just do something about it. I ain't saying, you know, physically, this is just a symbolic, you know, but you might have to knock them out like Mr. T on the A-team. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting on no plane, Hannibal. I'm like, okay, well, I ain't gonna try to reason with you, nigga. I'm gonna have to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna wake up in our destination, because you will have been on the plane. This is for your own good, but I don't have time to reason with you. If I know that you know, infested with parasites or whatever, then I might have to slip you. I might have to, you know, slip you some detox Mickeys, like instead of Diddy slipping you some whatever. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have to slip you some actual detox or some some parasitic type situation, and never tell you until they see you start getting more and more reasonable, and then you're like, it's taking effect. You know what I'm saying? But I can't even tell you that I need to give you some dewormer, because you're like, nigga, I ain't got no worms. Like, you know, I might run you all the way off.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you something real quick. What gave, this is one fascinating thing about the European. Well, I maybe that's a bad choice of word, but this is one thing that stand out about the Europeans to me, right? It seems to me like they got the heart, like they'll dive and they'll go down in the deepest cave, they'll climb the highest mountain. I mean, it's like when it comes to discovering and just going into places that, you know, just flat out, like we be like, nah, I ain't doing that. It's like they got this heart or something to do all that. Or some of them, not all of them, but you know what I mean?
That's because they know God is man, and they know it's not about religion. I mean, it's not about religion, it's about science. And you can't have real science without experimentation and adventure or discovery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They look at everything like a scientist. They know knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And you can't get knowledge if you don't go do nothing. Right. Even if they blow themselves up. That's why they be sacrificing each other. I just seen a little article saying that the other day when I was saying a so-called alien, they shot at the alien, the rocket launch or whatever, and then aliens or so-called got together and formed a big sphere, and then retaliated and hit them with turn them to stone or something.
Yeah, I think that was in Siberia or something. Yeah, I remember you going over that. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's still called CIA, intelligence, Central Intelligence Aid. That's intelligence gathering. We have to experiment. Devils are great scientists. They're just scientists of rebellion or opposition. They're adversarial scientists, meaning they're gonna try you. They're gonna see what they can get away with. That's their experiment. How far against God can we go? How far against truth and righteousness and the laws of creation and nature can we go? Can we alter creation? So they conducting experiments. They splicing viruses, they splicing human beings, they cloning, they doing all the unnatural stuff because they scientists. That's what motivates them. Knowledge is just, they what they intend to do with the knowledge is what's wicked. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. That's one thing that stand out about these Europeans, man. They willing to put 800 million gallons of gasoline up on them and go to space and, just dive in the deepest, darkest cave. And if they don't care if they get, well, I guess they probably care if they get stuck, but it seems like they always got the will to think they're going to make it back or whatever. That's
because they experimented so many times. They don't just get under a rocket or over a fiery rocket booster. They didn't send up so many monkeys and animals and dogs, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't sacrifice life. It might have been human life, but they didn't sacrifice way, a whole bunch of lives, thousands of lives before they decide to get up in there.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
They're gonna use canaries, they're gonna use rabbits, they're gonna use mice, they're gonna use frogs, they're gonna use monkeys, they're gonna use everything closer and closer to what, well, if it didn't do the monkey like that, you know what I'm saying, it's probably finally safe for us to try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw something. They said they brought back the dire wolf or something. Did you see that?
Yeah, like a 10,000-year-old dire wolf, two of them or something. I mean, I don't know. They didn't crack the, according to them, they didn't crack the genetic DNA code, human genome.
Yeah.
So if they could really crack that, and if they're really cloning and splicing and doing underground experiments, then, like I said, I heard Minister Farrakhan way back in the 90s saying that, the slave masters, descendants, these people's scientific advancements are proof that God is man. Because the white man don't look at the clouds and say, oh, that's God crying. That's, that's God beating his wife or something, or they're at the bowling alley with the thunder. Like, no, they see a thunder and they say, I can do that. I can make it thunder. They see it rain, they say, I can make it rain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They say they see the sun. They say, I can make a sun. I can get a Higgs boson or hedron colliders, atom collider and make a little mini sun. They prove God is a man because they are mimicking or duplicating in a small degree all the stuff that they see the creator do.
Yeah, so it seems to me like, how when the scriptures say the Most High gave man dominion over the earth, it seems like they taking that dominion and running with it.
As they should, but they getting help. So it's not that they running with it because they was crawling. They couldn't run. The master they was stuck on 32 degrees Freemasonry. They couldn't get no further. Master Father Muhammad had to send down another degree or some more degrees and get them to be able to say that they run it. They still crawling. But since the 1940s, he sent them down something where they can be walking and running.
Yeah. Right,
because they want to fight us. They want to be able to take us down. They know they can't take the God down, but he's giving them a boost to take those of us down that choose to stay with them. Here, this is what you need. You you can't defeat me, but even the like the Bible say, a third of the stars of heaven, those that ain't really all the way with me, they still my people, but they not really with Farrakhan. They not really with the true and living God. A third of them, I'm gonna let this dragon curl his tail and take their ass down. I'm gonna give them the tools. I'm gonna give them the technology. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna open up and expose and let them peep into the heavenly powers, certain grades, and that's what has to do with the tuning. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna allow them to learn and practice what Elijah Muhammad said that all human beings can do, which is tune. I'm gonna start letting crackers do it. I'm gonna start letting, devils do it. Rainbow devils. You know what I'm saying? If rainbow devils can do it, what's your excuse for not trying?
Yeah, that's real, man. Because it's definitely seen since the 40s. It's like their technology increased like 40 or 50%, like out of this world. No, well, not out of this world, but above normal.
Man. BL Senior said they sacrificed the NASA 7, trying to send them into space. I mean, they sacrificed so many people. You don't even got to look at it like that. How many Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines have just been sacrificed in general? Not even trying to get to space. What's the difference? To die is to die, right? So how many ninjas died in Vietnam? You may as well have tried to send them to space. You still sacrificed them the same way. They don't care about no human life sacrifices. That's how they learn biology and anatomy and all of that. What bodies do you think that they use to learn that? Whose bodies do you think they use?
Yeah, somebody had to be the guinea pig.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just they so airtight with their secrecy, you never knew that. Why does the devil keep our people apart and away from their social equality? Because they don't want us to know how filthy they are, how demonic, how satanic, how we would never even be able to fathom the depths of their wickedness. And if we learned about them, they know that we would run them from among us. So, and we would wipe them out. They're not going to let us know what they did to us to learn what they learned. The cold-hearted reptilian predator monster beast that they are. They're not going to tell you that. We would never mess with them. We would be on a straight purge campaign around the planet. It'll be revolution. It'll be holy war overnight.
Yeah.
So they are gradually doing it, but now, like I say, you see these dudes waking up and being more revolutionary than ninjas. Why is these dudes more outraged and ready to tear up stuff than y'all that took the Fauci juice? Why are they more angry at Fauci than you are? Why are they more angry at Biden? Why they airing people out and y'all ain't? Y'all still holding y'all tongue. I don't want to lose my job, or my coworkers gonna tell on me, or HR gonna bring me in, call me in. Like, why y'all still scared when they ain't? They not scared of white people because they white people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's yeah, it make you wonder, that how a lot of our people, it's like they turn a blind eye, you know what I mean? Or maybe it just, they think the fight is too tough. It's safer to be quiet.
I mean, that depends on what your definition of safe is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? ACM said you rarely hear the slave masters' descendants people thanking God for anything that they have achieved, right? Because they know that they would be thanking us. They know who God is. What do they want to thank us for? They're mad at us. They're furious at us because we made them weak and wicked. We made them diluted. You know what I mean? They can't even stand in the sun, and they don't have immortality future. They don't have soul immortality by nature. So we're their arch enemy. Why would they give thanks to us for anything? They're going to falsely thank the mystery God to deceive you, but they know who the real God is. They're not going to say, man, thank the original black man for, for my life and bringing me here and letting me experience all this beauty and this beachfront property and, the intelligence to learn this science and that science. Thank you, original black man. Are they going to, because that's who God is and they know it. Why would they thank us?
That's real. You saying that, man? It reminded me. I was watching Trump. I don't know if you saw it. The other day he had some of the people. I think it was from the island of Hawaii, but they some of the indigenous Hawaiian people. He had them in the Oval Office, and he was signing executive orders to give them back their fishing lands. And Trump asked him, asked the lady. It was like you could tell she was black, but she had the Hawaiian look. But Trump asked her, so how long y'all been fishing in the waters? The lady said, well, Trump asked how long y'all was fishing the waters. I know y'all was doing it before us. And she was like, yeah, thousands of years before y'all. So it was kind of like just to hear Trump say something like that, man. It was like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah, they all know. You can't get on that level of power and not know who the real God is. You know, it's just you sworn to your secret society, your secret fraternal order upon pain of death. So if you still go by that, when Minister Farrakhan told you, you know, you're not under that sword no more, the secret is out, so you may as well help him, help us. But if you don't, then you under another sword.
Yeah.
And that's the sword of being taken off the planet.
Yeah, because he even I heard him reiterate about the 14th Amendment being strictly for the children of slaves. Because you know, within the YouTube streets, you know, some people believe that the 14, you know, it ain't got nothing. You know, some black people don't accept the fact that it had to do something with, like Trump said, the children of slaves. They try to say that, you know, this amendment was for everybody, the birthright thing, for everybody. But Trump, like the other day when he was doing that, he was like, let me make it clear pretty much. He was like, this is strictly for the descendants of slaves. And I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, like I said, we about to see. No matter what, if we relying on Trump, if we relying on any politician, if we are relying on any so-called scientists, you know, any businessman, entrepreneur, philanthropist, if we not relying on the God, somebody that has so-called supernatural or super normal, whatever, superior power over the condition, over the leaders of this world, then we wasting our time. We may as well party hardy, eat, drink, be merry, get your freak on, all of that. Because if it ain't no real God, then all of this is a waste of time. Bottom line, it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, that's so true, man. I feel exactly where you coming from, bro. Because
just think about it, man. Like if God ain't real and you should be an atheist and you know it ain't no God or God ain't doing miracles this season or I don't know what niggas be like. Then what's the point? It ain't no point because you're never going to be able to win over the technological advancements and the wickedness of your former slave master. You can't reform them. You can't change the system from within. It's none of that's possible. That's all impossible, and it's actually insane to even believe that. It has to be a God, whoever originated the creation and whoever has been maintaining it and regulating the laws of the universe and evolving it from stage to stage over trillions of years. That's who we better be tapping in with and locking in with. If they ain't on that, and it says it's in you. It says that power is in you. The kingdom of that God is in you. If you, like I said, you got rainbow white boys that's tapping into their God power, living better than you, living better than me. Like hell to hell with that, man.
Yeah, I was reading some I was reading these scriptures, man. I forgot which one it was, but it was saying how I don't know how true it is, but it was I think it was outside of the Bible, one of the so-called lost books or something. I don't know, but basically what it was saying is it was acting like the Most High was talking, because you know how it'd be a third person or sometimes, but it was like basically was saying the Most High was saying if I create, just say if I create somebody that's good at this. He was basically saying I create somebody that's even better than them.
Yeah.
So it basically just saying like whatever the best we think the best is, it's still something better. I guess basically saying on a human level, if you got this one human being who's good, it's someone that's likely better than him, and so forth and so on, something like that. You think that's true?
Yeah, I mean that's what we all are. So like Master Fard Muhammad is the epitome of that example. So once we reach what the originator had in mind for perfection of himself and perfection of his creation. So if this human form is the originator, the very first Allah, the very first one of us, this is his idea. This is his vessel. This is the most high form and of expression of intelligence, period. There's no form greater than this form to express infinite eternal intelligence and power potential. So if he produced this and then he still knew that the ultimate joy of existing is to never have a ceiling, never have a cap. You can never reach the end of, in other words, you can always improve. You can always grow. You can always create something new and better. So that's what we are. You know what I'm saying? So the originator set that in motion so that there would never be an end to himself. There would never be an end to what he originated. So we are the evolution of him. We just don't know that our DNA or our genome or our Akashic records, the records in our DNA, the record of the library of the gods that's in our DNA, the recording, all of that is in our DNA. We just don't know this is what we are. We don't know we are the gods and we are the library of the gods. That's just incredible. But the devils know that. They know this is who we are. That's why they study our stem cells and take our little embryos and fetuses and Planned Parenthoods, our melanin, our pineal gland. Like they know. That's how they made their advancements, by studying our flatline. That's why we flatline it.
I see what you're saying. That kind of validate this scripture I was reading the other day, man. The scripture was saying you can become a new person by changing the way you think.
Right. As a man and woman thinketh in his heart, and so is he. But if we only using 4, 5, 6, 7% of our brain, then we're not even gonna get too far with that. Because we below the Freemasons on degrees of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They barely up from a horizontal level, 32 degrees, 33 degrees. We below that. We flatline. We lay it out. But we are the record book. We are the God, blueprint. So we like the frog that's split open, that's dissected. You know what I'm saying? We the God frog that we've been letting them dissect us and study us for the last 6,000 years. And then at the 6,000th year, then, one of our own that has access, they God power comes and stitches us back up and hits our chest with the defibrillator. And now we waking back up. The very frog that you had split open with the toothpicks in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Bam. So it's like 32 degrees and 33 degrees, and a lot of black people's kind of like 1 degree, 2 degrees or something.
Yeah, we below 0 degrees.
Below 0.
We frozen. At least 32 degrees is where water freeze, ain't it?
Yeah.
If you get past that, then you can get some liquid action or some vapor or something. But we below froze. We hot ice. Shit, nigga. You got hot ice around this one.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. But you know what? That's interesting. What you got up on the screen, man. I was thinking about that. I was listening in about what the guy was saying about Gaddafi. It's heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like the information and the awareness is needed, because it's like I mean, it's like an ongoing process, but it's like the accountability is like, when would that take course? You know what I'm saying?
So you said it's heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
Then that's gonna force me back to the question: well, wasn't it heartbreaking for black people to make devils in the first place and give them power to rule for the last 6,000 years? What's more heartbreaking, what this particular devils did to Gaddafi, or what the gods did to the planet? I'm saying,
What God did to the planet.
right? So it's not about us getting in our emotions about certain individuals. It's about looking at the overall big scientific picture of this God operation, this operation that the God did to his own self, his own species, to purify himself of this opposite adversarial force, this germ called devil that was dormant or hidden within us. It wasn't worthless. It has value, but we had to bring it out and let it fully rule and express itself without our interfering with it to see what its value was. What is the full value of devil? What is the full value of opposite resistance or adversarial force or negative force? It's not useless. We just have to be emotionally mature enough to see its value, even though it caused so much destruction. But do it really cause destruction, or are we the causers? Is it really a such thing as destruction if we are the creators that brought creation into existence from nothing in the first place? Is there really destruction? Can a devil really destroy anything? So that's the grade levels of mental and so-called spiritual, but I say mental maturity that we all are supposed to be resurrecting back up into, not emotionalism. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we becoming robots. No, once you become so scientifically wise, then you activate, the best part of your physical senses. Now your taste buds is way more sensitive. So food tastes better, sound better, sight look better. You know what I'm saying? Touch, your intimate organs feel better when so when you all the way awake, everything is bliss, everything is, and you purified yourself of this devil germ and this devil potential, so you ain't got to worry about that. That's what we brought the devil out of us for. We had to, bring it out of us and fully study it so we can know exactly how it expresses itself, how it hides, how it camouflages among righteous, looking thoughts and ideas and actions or whatever. We had to be able to learn it. We had to master what it looked like, what it feel like, what it smell like, what it sound like, what it does, what it don't do. We had to master that part of ourselves. But that's the maturity of this God subject. Take it or leave it, because we can all say, well, they did black people this way. Let's go way before slavery. Why did your God make the devil? Period. Till you can answer that, then none of this other local, emotional, individual stuff don't mean nothing.
Hey, that's a fact, man. When you look at it from that perspective, it changes perspective and make you look at it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It changes the whole dynamic of how you view it or how you react to it. So hey, that's the realness.
Hey man, but why not? Like, why not? I was out my whole life. I didn't heard Christian preachers and pastors, Jehovah's Witness, everybody that I was exposed to. I ain't never heard this. I never heard this in science class, philosophy class, whatever. So I'm not gonna make nobody pay for this. You might turn the channel like, damn, he always talking about this and he always on that. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep always being on it because time and circumstances and the consequences of your own choices is going to whoop on you so bad that it's going to drive you over to this kind of subject, because you're going to be trying to struggle to understand what the hell is going on with you, trying to understand what life and purpose is all about, trying to understand why pain, why loss, why suffering, why fear, why trauma. You're going to be asking all them whys, and the only question is on this, only answer is on the God subject. And God ain't religion. God is not religion. God is you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and you're ignorant to the knowledge of yourself. So I just like to, just provoke, thought provoke and bring up certain subjects and concepts that I know you ain't got it. You didn't hear it in school. You didn't hear it in church. You ain't hearing it nowhere. You ain't hearing it in these rappers and these R&B singers. You're not hearing it at your corporate job. You only gonna hear it from somebody like me. You're only gonna hear it from somebody in the NOI. You might hear some other people that got it from the NOI and just don't give them the credit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what you're saying is a fact, man. Because I be in the YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? White side and the black side. I be studying the white side and I study the black side. But you're right, man. Ain't nobody kicking what you kicking. Not like this.
And
I know of that I've heard, like, as far as like, you know what I mean, how you bringing it.
And that's Farrakhan. It ain't me. It's just my little way of expressing the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan. That's all it is. It's just my way. And y'all got y'all own way. It's gonna affect y'all own way according to your individual identity and your individual soul and fingerprint and gifts. So one rain rains on all plants and animals. It rains on the wicked and the guilty alike. The one sun shines on all of us. Whatever it brings out of you is unique. It's gonna be unique, and it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be priceless. But it ain't nothing gonna happen if you don't let the light shine on you. If you stay, covered up, or you stay with your ears closed or whatever, and you just a seed that never gets planted in the right environment and never gets watered and never have no sunlight shined on you, the light don't ever reach you, then you just gonna stay a petrified little stone called a seed and never produce nothing. That's why I was, getting at what you call them yesterday, and not in a bad way, because I'm trying to build a little rapport with John Witherspoon or whatever. But if you ain't produced nothing, you know what I'm saying, and then you claim to be an atheist and you don't have no purpose. My purpose is to survive. You're not surviving. If you're not reproducing, you're not surviving. And it don't necessarily even have to be biologically reproducing from your loins, but you don't even have enough knowledge or enough impact academically or intellectually to reproduce. You're not intellectually able to reproduce nothing because you ain't produced nothing intellectually. Who's gonna love you when you gone? Who loves you now? Who admires you? Who wants to follow in your footsteps? Who have you inspired, with your mind and the way you live your life? If you ain't got that, if you can't answer them questions, if you ain't reproduced yourself in some kind of way like that, then you are a seed that wasted its time here.
Man, like tears in the rain.
Yeah. And you don't have to waste your time, because you're not a total waste, because somebody gonna learn from you. Somebody gonna learn what not to do. You're gonna make somebody want to hurry up and go start a family.
Yeah. That's real,
man. Spear 9 said we only use 10% of our brain, allegedly. A lot of so-called scientists say not even that much. We use 7-8% or 8, maybe 9 if we lucky. Imagine if we could conquer the technique or just train our brain to a max potential, how productive we would be. We would be the gods that we was in the beginning before we made the white, the slave master race. and put ourselves to sleep and allowed them to rule for the last 6,000 years. It's not, and it's written. That's what the resurrection means. This Sunday is called Resurrection Day. That don't mean Jesus. Like, we think that means one individual dude. We think the resurrection is just represent one individual dude. We think that he was really dead like that. Like, and we don't have no clue that this is talking about us. That's sad. It's talking about the Lazarus that's been mentally dead for the last 6,000 years, but in particular has been dead for the last 400, specifically this tribe. That's the resurrection day. The resurrection of the dead. Ain't nobody getting up out of no damn cemetery. No graveyard, no zombie, no bones, sticks and stones and bones getting out of no dirt. Resurrection means what we listening to right now. A word of God that's going to quicken your so-called spirit, that's going to quicken your mind, your soul, your God identity in your human body, in your brain, and make you active, make you hurry up and make up for lost time while you got this body. You're going to become a living soul, a living God on earth as it is in heaven with new knowledge. You're going to have knowledge that's going to make you do new things. And that's what this is right now. And it ain't you don't have to have no ceremony and no big production celebration. It's just the right person or the right people telling you the right things at the right time. That's inspiring you to do something new. Just do something new. What you've been doing ain't work. You're not ready to do something new? Are we telling you to drink some Jim Jones juice? You already did that with Fauci. What you scared of? What is it about Farrakhan or the NOI that y'all scared of? That y'all haven't already did worse trying to follow somebody else? What did Farrakhan ask y'all to do? What did Elijah Muhammad ask y'all to do that's so terrible? What crimes did they commit? What evil did they do? I just want to know, because I've been following them for 35 years and it been all dubs, no L's. Only L's is when I stop following, when I try to do my own thing and revert back to my own ways. So I want to know, because y'all all claiming how much we need, black folk need to get together, and black folk need unity, and black folk need knowledge, and black folk need to get healthy, and black folk need so you mean all the things that the Nation of Islam been doing? That's what black folk need, right? Are you in the nation? Are you down with Farrakhan? Are you, affiliated? No, then what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
that's a
you don't gotta be black. This is not black knowledge. Ain't no such thing. There's more white people that want to be in the mosque, you know what I'm saying, than black people. We just don't let them.
Yeah, that's real, man. It's sad how people let the propaganda persuade them or push them away from the teachings of the NOI. You know what I mean? Because I hear so much bashing in these YouTube streets, and it just.
Man, did you get a chance to hear when I was on earlier when I was talking about Jesus, since it's Good Friday, Jesus and or Mary when she was about to give birth or just gave birth, and the so-called three wise men? It wasn't three, but it was the wise men that came and brought myrrh and frankincense and gold.
No, I wasn't. No, I didn't. I got it on late.
Yeah, well, Gaddafi represents those type of wise men that saw the baby Jesus about to be born, and the wise men that recognized God, had their own type of little baby shower. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to register, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to register their name in a certain registry with the God or with the Christ. So when he fully came to power, he would see that they on record helping him, in the beginning. because they knew he was going to come to power over the forces of nature and over everything, and he was going to wipe out all the enemies and the majority of people on the earth. The majority of the people on the earth is going to be wiped out, right? You know, a lot of them going to be allowed to wipe themselves out and wipe each other out, but then the remnant, you know, that the Christ nation is going to wipe the rest of them out. And we are that Christ. That Christ is not an individual. It's an individual nation. It's a specific nation, right? So Joseph, in this case, is Elijah Muhammad. Jesus' father, the father of this baby nation, is Elijah. The mother is Farrakhan, right? And they saw that the mother was about to give birth, Mary, Mas Mariam Farrakhan, and the wise men saw the signs in the heavens, which was the so-called North Star. And, you know, they were trying to make their way to the birth site so that they can go on record delivering and acknowledging and praising, you know what I'm saying, this child that was born to destined to rule the nations of the earth with a rod of iron and destroy, you know, the tyrants and wicked and blah, blah, blah. So Gaddafi represented those type of people. Gaddafi was just a sign. What he was trying to do for black people in America or the Christ child was just a sign of that's, you know, and these enemies know that. And if y'all follow that story, I would ask y'all to read the story of the wise men and what happened, you know, because I don't want to give too much of it away, but the wise men had to come, you know, to come find us a certain way, and then they had to return back to where they came from a different way than how they came. Because, well, I don't. But if y'all read it, man, then, you know, just understand that we are the Christ child. We are the Christ. What I mean by that, the descendants of slaves. The native indigenous, this don't just mean the black people of slavery. It also means the native, you know, so-called Indians and, you know, they descendants, so-called Mexicans and all that. That's, you know, all of these is the Christ, the body of Christ that's been crucified by the conquistadors and by the British or the English crusades of the Pope. The Antichrist. But yeah, that's something I just wanted to reiterate since it's Good Friday and y'all busy getting ready to hide your little Easter egg, do your Easter egg hunts and all of that. And I don't know what's so good about the day your Lord gets tortured to death that you want to make a symbol of that and ice it out and wear it around your neck.
Man.
So, but yeah, man, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. But anything else you want to talk about right quick, Madonna?
I was thinking, man, you know, but you know, I was just thinking about what you were just saying about you know, people getting ready to hide them eggs and, you know, get ready to give another generation that foolishness, you know, like, and a lot of people. It's sad that a lot of people don't even think that or know that rabbits don't lay eggs. You know, some people really think rabbits lay eggs. You know what I'm saying? That's why they. You know?
Jesus can do whatever he want to do. Rabbits can make eggs.
Oh, yeah,
all things is possible through Christ, which strengtheneth me.
You ain't
How
lying.
dare you?
Oh yeah, man.
You're a disbeliever.
Oh,
Jesus can make rabbits lay eggs.
And they're gonna call me a demon for saying that. You know how that
Yeah,
goes.
you're a straight demon. Welcome to the demon club. How dare you believe that God ever been on earth?
Right, bro. That's the yeah, man. But I'm surprised how quiet a lot of them brothers are, man, because I ain't trying to be trying to start none or be no rucker, none of that. But I'm just calling it like I see it, because I'm just shocked at how many of them Israelite brothers from the ISUP came. It is real quiet.
Because they've been disturbed. Their souls have been disturbed, and they're having troubling dreams. I'm gonna say that again. Their souls have been disturbed by that showdown challenge, that public warning and showdown challenge, and they have been having disturbing dreams, right? Because God and his angels and his believers can reach you. They can read, like I said, Ingo Swan. Ingo Swan is a rainbow. He can reach niggas. He can get in, he can tune up on you and communicate with you, and you gonna know that was him communicating with you. So, there's nowhere to hide once God start unlocking, certain powers. You can't hide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna get in front of the camera and act like ain't nothing wrong, and bruh, y'all keep watching. Y'all keep watching. Yeah, just that's all I say. Just keep watching.
I feel you, because one thing I can say for the record, that me being in the YouTube street for almost over 20 years, watching different brothers and debates all through the course of these 20 years, I can say for the record, I've never seen someone challenge, not just the Israelites, nobody with your challenge.
But they all talking about God though, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
They talking about they know God, or they the chosen people of God, or they talking about they are God. Regardless, it's all God business that you're supposed to be able to take this fade with me on.
Yeah. They ain't never seen that fade coming like that. I've never seen no one bring the fade that you bring it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So once this is the nature of why you don't play with that kind of fire, right? Because once somebody like me, or it don't have to be me, Allah just blessed it to be me. Once somebody introduces that level to you publicly and then call you a punk for not accepting it, you can't rest. Your soul is convicted. Your mind is convicted. Your nature, your manhood is convicted. It's gonna make you second guess and think, you know what I'm saying? Because preachers become crazy and start believing their own lies. You know what I'm saying? Until a real one show up and say something or present something or call something that makes them have to shut their mouth. You shut your mouth because you're disturbed. Your soul and your mind is being disturbed every night. Every night. Every night. And that's going to lead to something else. You can't hide your mind. Your mind can't hide from God and from his angels. You can't hide. You still have the free will, to get up and see if you're going to keep playing this role. You're going to get up in front of the public because we addicted. We want followers and we want a following. I don't got no following. This ain't even my channel. You know what I'm saying? I just do my little thing and keep on doing it. I've been the poster child for censorship. You know what I'm saying? Breaking community guidelines and blackballed and whiteballed or whatever. Like, if that was going to stop me, I would have been stopped. It's these guys that's just now getting a platform and addicted to somebody saying their name or hearing the cheers. Yeah, you did that. You cooked such and such. You did, like, okay. Well, let's see how that brain get cooked. Let's see how that spirit get cooked. Because if you're not all the way confident, if somebody can ask you certain questions and have you stuttering and have you just filibustering and just saying anything, then you got stumped. And we see that this is entertainment for you. This is entertainment for you. Y'all talk loud. The real ones don't talk loud. They work loud. They work is loud. They mouth ain't loud. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no lot of talk. This is the most I talk because you let me overtalk you. You help me keep saying whatever it is I need to get off my chest or whatever. But when it comes to them or ops or whatever, like we ain't really got nothing else to talk about. You claim God, you know about Elijah, you know about this, and you talk bad and slander and blaspheming. We have nothing else to talk about. All we have to do now is disturb them spirits. All we have to do now is call for that curse. I don't have to, my Elijah is within me. When you see me, you see Elijah, you see the Father. I don't know who you got to wait on. I don't got to wait. So that's what's disturbing because my God, my Elijah is on your ass now. That's why they quiet. What else can they say? The Bible say, they will shut their mouths at him. You're not accepting the God challenge and you claiming God. Nigga, what else do we got to talk about? You the main one claiming God and don't want to do God things. You don't want to run no God challenges. Nigga, get out of here.
No. Hey, that's so real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that's they claim to fame. Right. God this, God that. So I mean, but hey, man, like you said, they mouth closed. What I say?
Hey, man. Kendrick Buchanan says, Brother Cam, please ask Eric Muhammad to come on. Is that Khalil's Khalid 2.0? Old Behave? Is Old Behave Khalid?
Yeah.
Talk Black to Me. Is that Eric Muhammad?
Yeah, that's Talk Black to Me. Yeah, that's Eric.
So I never don't want them boys trolling. I mean, yeah, but they think it's a game, like Mike Tyson say. You think it's a game. This internet making y'all think it's a game. Well, Elijah Muhammad don't play. My God and the sons of Elijah don't play those games. And you're about to see that. And it's so beautiful that we don't have to physically get our hands dirty. We don't have to do no physical nothing. We doing mental chastisement. Didn't somebody say trying to tell me that the Muslims can beat their wives? I think he said that, right?
Yeah. That was some of his.
But I didn't get to get at him. I had to get at one of his little underlings. Was you there when I was telling him about y'all stone women to death? Y'all stone y'all wives to death?
Yeah. I was definitely listening to them. Yeah, but that's been they've been using that rhetoric for years. Zariak, that.
Well, grace ain't never been over.
That y'all can beat your wives and all that. You know what I'm saying?
You heard me?
What's that?
I said grace has never been over yet, though. So whatever, all these people have been saying all kind of stuff for years. But now grace is over. So let's see if it's going to go the same way if they say it one more time now. And they have said it one more time. So like I said, let's see what this Elijah God is doing with him. And, I just put it out there. I said 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right?
Yeah. Because old boy been popping up on my timeline for some reason, man.
I can't hear you. Your mic is muffled.
Oh, my mic. What about now?
Yeah.
Old boy been popping up on my timeline. The one guy that y'all said had on the Dollar Tree NOI suit or something like that.
Oh, Khalil.
Yeah, Khalil. Like a lot of his videos been popping up on my timeline, and I didn't know the brother. Like I heard him talking bad about the minister on Sinetta when he was doing the thing with whatever. But man, I didn't know he was talking about the minister like that though, bro. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, but I asked him too, like, you willing to do the little challenge? And he said, I don't even know what he said, but none of them is willing to do it. So yeah, why talk if y'all talking God? I want to see God miracles. I want to see God stuff. I don't want to hear talk. I don't want to hear no talk about God. I want to hear no scripture talk. I want to hear none of that. I want to see God do the same things that y'all said he did thousands of years ago. If you can't show me that, if you ain't willing to put your life and body or whatever on the line for that like I am, then you a punk. You a coward, a punk. And, ain't nothing we got to talk about.
Yeah, that's real, man, because you just made me think about something, man. You know how a lot of them European preachers, they be in them they had a little congregation and they swear they healing people and making them walk and making them see again, and somebody been in a wheelchair in the audience, they claim they was in a wheelchair for 30 years, and they get up there and they do all this hooping and hollering and they heal them. I mean, people run to that, like, but we know that's well, as far as I know, is it's
no, it's a scam, pure lies,
right.
pure lies scam.
Right, but you see that the point I was making though is like they claim, they claiming to prove the power of God, or they got the power of God. That's what they claiming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. People is telling you that they authorities on the knowledge of God and how God operates and how to save your soul and to make it into the kingdom. Well, then call that same God to run this fade. If you ain't willing to do that, then use a con man. You the real con man. Mm-hmm. Why are you talking about God and you can't show no kind of God power? You can't even show no God testicles that you're willing to do no God demonstration. I ain't even seen y'all pray for nothing. Do y'all even pray? Do they pray for anything? Or do they just woof and talk loud and shit and argue with niggas?
Man, I remember they used to pray that the Most High destroy the white man, but I don't hear that kind of language no more. I used to hear that back in 06, 07, 08, 09, but that type of language kind of calmed down. So I lately it's just about views and what's going on the internet is what I hear from them.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you want clicks and views, just talk bad about the nation. You want attention, I'm not sure that's the attention you really want, but I guess it is. So you got it. So I love it. You like it, I love it.
Yeah.
Namad Jabril said, Israelite don't sound close enough to a Muslim. They're probably studying the wrong material. I don't know what you mean by that. And it's like I said, they the one said that it's something different. They said our God ain't the same. They want the separation or the division. So you want it, I want it. You don't want to be around us. We don't want to be around you. That's simple. But that don't mean we ain't gonna call it out. You start it, we finish it. That's our motto. It ain't anybody dwelling on it, but it's good content. It's a good reminder. The Holy Quran is a reminder. It don't say nothing profound. I mean, it don't say nothing new, I should say. We get new understanding of the same words. It's like a piano or 88 keys, right? They don't never change. But the more, you work out with them, the more you study and the more you practice on them, then it's us that's able to do more things with those keys or with those pages, them same words. Because they universal. There's no limit to what you can do with those keys or with those pages. So that's what I just like to repeat them. I just like to keep on going over, the keys and the harmonies and the notes and try different things, but I ain't saying nothing new. I ain't inventing nothing.
So I know what I was going to ask you, man. It's pertaining to the scriptures, though. I remember a lot of them Israelite brothers, they used to bring out the scriptures talking about how there's going to come a time when the Most High is going to put the power in man to be able to like run down a deer and don't get tired and all these superpowers. You know what I'm saying?
Run down a deer and don't get tired. What we need to run down a deer for?
Well, I guess they were basically comparing, like they were saying the Most High is going to come a time when the Most High going to put the power in the Israelites to be able to, you know, have like the speed or Flash Gordon, I guess, and all these superpowers and stuff. You know, that was. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just saying it was like they'll bring out different scriptures saying, you know, pertaining to that, like because it was one saying, man, it'll be a time where you'll be able to run and not tire out or something like that. It was something they should try to bring out, but I was just wondering, is that kind of synonymous with what you're saying about if we just get right and do right, we can do these powers and use more of our brain that we never used before.
I don't think it had to do with running down no animals. But yeah, I guess whatever you would choose to do with your life, because I think at that point you wouldn't really even be eating meat anyway. But yeah, I like, you know what I'm saying. I just be, you know, I don't know, because I don't even know like what are we stuck on? What are we you know? And I'm not talking about the Israelites. I'm just talking about people that's not, that you might not be into no religion, or you might just be into Christianity. You know you're stagnant. You know that you feel stagnant. You know that you don't know your purpose, even if your pastor taught you that this is the purpose. You know that you don't feel fulfilled. You know that's not fulfilling your nature. You know it's more to it. You know your pastor ain't giving you really what you need. You know times is getting harder. You don't have the answers or the understanding. Your confusion is getting greater and greater. You know that. So all of that is going to force us to change. It's going to present and produce such dissatisfaction that is going to force us to change. 100% dissatisfaction brings about 100% change. And right now we're not changing. So God is letting this devil loose, or these Satans loose, and they're going to do something different to us to make us change.
Yeah, that's really said it though, man. You know, you can definitely see that stagnation is real prevalent out here. You know, it's like going in circles almost.
And don't you think people, like the Bible talking about that Jesus is a comforter, right? Mighty counselor / comforter. That's what we need. Like that's why we on social media, because we want comfort. We want company. We want quality company, quality counseling, because most of us are struggling or suffering.
I think I froze it.